This Beach is Crazy is the name of our episode today. And
Mhm.
if it's a Charleston beach, I would give that to Folly. Folly would be the
Mhm.
crazy beach. That's where you could have the crazy fun. But y'all, we're in the Dominican Republic.
I was thinking that it was a metaphor. This bitch is crazy, not this beach is crazy.
Like all I do is beach and wine.
Yes.
All right, beaches, let's get into this. Southern Hospitality, season 4. This beach is crazy. Let's watch.
Remote reality, yeah, that's the key. Unlocking stories wild and free. With the host, side by side. Channel surfers, let's ride.
Happy Friday, Channel Surfers. Welcome to Remote Reality. I'm Lauren, your friend and attorney host who loves to overanalyze everything, including our favorite reality TV shows.
And I'm Dee, her paralegal and smartass co-host.
And today I was talking to Dee about, the difference in billing per hour for attorney versus paralegal. What'd you say, Dee?
I said I'm Timu Lauren.
I said, well, it costs a lot more to make this. Law school ain't cheap. I am the Birkin. You are the Workin.
That's right. Maybe I could upgrade to Sheen.
Hey, Timu, Sheen, Workins. That's how I shop.
That's definitely how I shop.
So, Channel Surfers, what are y'all doing on Friday? Are you ready for the weekend? Are you guys excited? Anybody going to the beach?
I would love a trip to the beach.
Let's dive right in to Southern Hospitality. For the 13 people that are listening, make sure you like, subscribe, share with friends. We're also covering 90 Day Fiancé now. That's going to be coming out on Mondays. The OG version, season 12. I'm loving it right now. Super fun. 90 Day, the last year's work, that's going to be starting June 1st. So we will be covering that as well.
Yes.
We just covered the Alec Murdaugh opinion as soon as it came out because y'all know we're in South Carolina. We are in the Low Country. This is local news for us. We covered the oral arguments for the appeal. And as soon as one of my friends texted me, the opinion's out, I said, I'm jumping on a live. I'm running over there, getting ready, screaming, Dee, get ready. Of course.
Dee is saying, nope, not getting on the whole time.
Dee, I'm putting on my makeup. Go get dressed.
No, but I
jumped
did.
on. So we did a live where I read through the Supreme Court opinion. I put on my lawyer hat for once. It's a cute lawyer hat, legally blonde. Y'all know. And then we did a short little 15-minute recap of our thoughts on it. Dee and I watched this. We watched the whole trial. Everybody locally was talking about it from the moment that financial evidence went in. I thought wait for the appeal. If he gets convicted, wait for the appeal. I think that the Supreme Court would have overturned it on the financial evidence, actually. But the easier legal analysis was Becky Hill. So go back, take a listen to that if you guys are interested in Alec Murdaugh. And they're saying that there's going to be a new trial by the end of this year. My in-laws just happen to have a beach house in Carlton County. So I may try to go check out the trial. I'll bring my bar card.
That would be so fun.
So yeah, but enough about all of that. Let's jump into Southern Hospitality. Let's jump into the reason that we're here. Actually, I don't know why anybody's here, but we love you. We love that you're here.
Yes, we do.
But let's talk about these crazy beaches. So we're leaving church, and Michael, he felt good having gone to the church, but he felt more than good. He felt grandma there.
Oh, he felt spiritually closer to her in the church. I love the fact that they were playing that. Yeah, the church music playing in the background when he was talking about it in ITMs. I was like, that's cracking me up. It was like, oh.
I was raised Catholic, went to Catholic school, and my grandmother was so into Catholicism. I remember going to mass with her, and some priest thought she was a nun, some traveling priest. She was there every day. I mean, she was with my grandpa too. So, but they thought she was a nun. I mean, I'm standing there, her granddaughter, they're like, Sister Anne. I'm like, no. But every time, even now, whenever I've gone into a Catholic church, I get teary-eyed. It feels like my grandma, all of it.
Yeah.
I haven't been able to go into a church. It's been 20 years since she passed. She passed in 2016. It'll be 20 years in August. And I still feel my grandma whenever I'm in a church. It's just, it invokes her. So I get it too.
I'll
go Grace Lilly on you, though. Michael's like, not to go Grace Lilly. I'll go Grace Lilly. I love me some Grace Lilly.
Me too.
TJ, he's taking a little snooze in the back seat. That would be me. Who doesn't need a midday nap? And Michael's is like, let's go back and get ready for the Last Supper. So everyone's getting ready. You know what? I actually got ready for the podcast today.
I did not.
Took me a lot longer than I thought. Time got away from me. I texted Dee. I was like, oh my God, I'll be on in just a minute. Like, it took hours for this.
It's just not worth it, is it?
They were. Actually, I feel pretty good. So,
you look fabulous. I'm just like, I don't give a shit no more. So it's ponytail and throw some makeup on. I'm good.
That has been me for a long time, but turning over a new leaf. Hopefully there's not a caterpillar or bug on the other side. Spider.
Oh, caterpillars turn into butterflies.
Okay, spider. Spiders turn into Lauren screaming and running away. And no, I will not kill them. Because I don't do that. Grace Lilly. Anyway, Joe and Maddie are getting ready. How many shirt buttons do you think Joe has buttoned?
Not very many.
Like two? Like two at the bottom?
Maybe. I don't know.
Maybe he's wear it open. What's the point?
Maybe he's just not finished yet. He's helping her pick out her jewelry.
Now, her dress, gold dress, looks amazing. I love that shell necklace.
I did too. And it did. It matched the little starfish earrings perfect.
It did. But I don't know if I could wear that. Like, I need a tan. I have been inside so much. I'm so pale. I got to get a tan before I do that. Actually, I bought these little tan drink drops, which then I looked it up and some doctors are like, oh, that's dangerous. Should I try them?
No, I probably wouldn't. I'm not going to drink a tan. I'm just going to go get it the old-fashioned way and lay out in the sun.
I don't have that patience, Dee. I don't have that patience.
It doesn't require patience. That is just well, I don't know, because I don't know how easy you tan. I tan very easy, so it doesn't take me but a couple of times laying out, and I've got a good tan going.
I burn.
You burn. Okay.
I'm pale. I remember when we had our office back in Fort Mill, this guy came in for a consult and he was like, why are you the color of that wall?
Shit.
People can be so sweet.
Yeah.
What's wrong?
I tend to burn, but then it'll turn the next day.
We are knocking on summer's door right now, too.
We are. What is going on with the weather, too? It's kind of chilly of a morning. It's not really getting that warm during the day.
I'm not complaining. I love it.
I am ready for the summer weather.
I
don't like cold.
Maddie is putting a lot of pressure on herself. Hasn't DJ'd, I guess, in a while, but she's basically basing her whole hopes, dreams, career on this gig. If she messes this up, it's all over. It's too much, though. Yeah, she imagines herself going on tour worldwide. If she does really well, she will get, hopefully, another gig. But this is also very early on. If she doesn't get another gig, it doesn't mean that she won't continue to build a base and get another opportunity in the future. I think she's just putting way too much pressure on herself.
No, honestly, I get it. I'm the same way. I will freak myself out until I'm actually in the moment of something. And then once I actually get in the moment, I'm good. But leading up to it, I have a million things going through my head. I'm overthinking everything. Yeah. And she does consider this a stepping stone into her international career as far as the DJing goes. So she's making a very big deal of it.
But you know you're like that, and I know I'm like that. I know I'm an overthinker. I know it. The other day we had a hearing, and I started thinking about this one issue, and I had to just tell myself, Lauren, it's a non-issue. I even tell my clients, I'm like, I'm telling you this, but there's a 0% chance, a 1% chance this might happen, but I just overthink.
Right.
So knowing that I'm like that, it helps to just remind myself of that.
Yeah, I have to do that too.
Okay, Justin. He is on FaceTime with Charlie, who he has been dating for a whole 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He's not on the trip, who has an acne beard breaking out, apparently.
She has acne breaking out on her face because of his beard.
I thought she said it was breaking out where his beard was.
No, it's because of his beard, I think is what she said.
Ew. Well, wash your fucking beard.
Well, it could... It could be something as simple as maybe like because I'm sure there's oils and stuff in the hair on their face. I mean, just like you would on your head. Maybe it has something to do with a reaction to his oils or something. I don't know.
Maybe I would stop making out with him.
Yeah.
Let's hope it's just pimples.
I mean, I've actually heard people say they're allergic to their boyfriends. So, like, sexually allergic to their boyfriends.
I mean, I've heard people say they're allergic to men. Don't blame them. I think sometimes I have that allergy. It's like pistachios. Sometimes I break out, sometimes I don't. So he gets off the phone with Charlie, and after he hangs up, he says, "I love you." And TJ walks in, totally hears this. He's like, dude. And Justin, he sent ITMs. He is feeling this. My first reaction is, whoa, this is too soon.
It's too soon, but then production asked him how many women he'd said I love you to, and he's like, 40 maybe? I don't know. I love women. And I'm just like, red flag, red flag. Like, this is not a relationship guy.
I'm sure he meant it every single time, but
I think he genuinely did.
I think he did too. I think he's confusing love with lust.
Yeah, at least he had the good sense to wait until she hung up to say it because he realized it's too soon to actually say it. But
well, how did he realize that? He's told this to 40 women. You think he's probably scared some off in the past?
Lesson learned, right? Lesson learned.
He is hiding those red flags. She can't see him yet. Wouldn't it be funny if he didn't press the button right?
I know. Oh my gosh.
At least she would know what she's getting into.
Yeah. Who has thought they hung up and, kept talking about something you shouldn't have been talking about?
You and I try to get off video calls all the time at work, and ALXEA won't listen to us sometimes. And I'm just like, I'm always, when I walk off to go take off work clothes and get into pajamas, I'm like, oh my God, I hope it hung up. And I go back in it. And sometimes I double check just to make sure. Because you don't want to see all this. It's too much. Just like Justin's I love you. It's too much.
It's too much. Thank goodness she didn't hear.
We see Bradley and Julia getting ready. They are such a beautiful couple. These people are gorgeous.
They are. And they're so stylish. Like, they're always very put together and chic looking. And wow.
I love his,
I don't have that style.
Appropriately buttons blue shirt and the white pants. She looks so elegant. Also, when they're together, when Brad and Julia are together, it feels like a married couple. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's very natural. They have the whole yin yang thing going on. Like, they just fit perfectly.
They support each other so well. They have each other's backs. They seem so comfortable together. Like, I feel like this could be the one. No pressure. If Brad or Julia are listening, no pressure. But I know somebody that does hair for weddings. But I don't even think she needs help. Like, gorgeous.
Yeah, I wanted to take notes watching her put the contour on her face. I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the way I do it. I need to go back and take some notes on that. Because when you see the finished product, it's like, amazing. Amazing.
But turning to what they're talking about, I hate that they even waste time.
Well, it just shows that, it does still bother him. This was somebody that was supposed to be a friend, not to mention the whole microaggression thing.
And we're talking about Emmy.
Yes.
Who we call Mimi. Somebody in the comments on TikTok was like, who's Mimi? We're like, watch the whole show. Yeah, that's right, TikTok. If D makes this into a short, go over to our YouTube channel. We cover the whole show. But Emmy, we call her Mimi because sometimes it's a little bit about Mimi.
It's all about her. Me. Wah, wah, wah.
Brad, he just wants her to acknowledge
and apologize.
What she said. He didn't even say apology. He said acknowledge.
Fuck's sakes, man. What is wrong with this girl?
She keeps trying to dodge it.
No, she just keeps trying to make it about herself. Instead of
even
owning it.
Even Michols has told you, just acknowledge it. Just acknowledge what you're doing. You can't. Well, I'm sure her and Will are going to have a great marriage. He's a lawyer, which I am too. So I don't know, though. I feel like I am pretty fair with things as far as seeing both sides.
Well, yeah,
you have have said that.
Yeah.
I have more like judicial temperament.
Yeah. I do it too. I always try to put myself in somebody else's position first before I lose my shit.
But I've dated lawyers before, and we're not all like that. And then Mimi not ever wanting to take responsibility for anything. I give it 5 years tops.
They may not even make it to the altar. Who knows?
So we come to dinner on the beach. It is gorgeous. And I love the idea that nobody is going to have phones at dinner. Although as great as everybody looks, if this wasn't on camera, how are you going to get pictures at the dinner? Although I'm never the one to take pictures. At least they have a camera crew capturing this moment.
Yeah, I'm always the one taking pictures. First of all, I don't like to be in pictures, so I'm always the one that volunteers to take them. But they look amazing, and we get to find out that Joe definitely has not buttoned the shirt up any further than it was when they were getting ready. So he intentionally wore it that way.
We still have 2 buttoned.
Yep. I wonder if it's kind of like he's wearing it like, do you remember like those old TV shows from like the 70s with the guys? They always, I don't know Fonz always had t-shirts on, but you know what I'm talking about, where they always had it unbuttoned all the way like down to their stomach almost.
Other day, somebody in one of the groups I'm in posted something about guys, and I was like, whoa, that is not Charleston fashion. And it wasn't a Charleston group, but I was like, yeah, guys around here do not dress like the guys where you live, which my cousin pointed out when she came to Charleston actually for her bachelorette party. She's like, these guys are dorks. I'm like, yeah, a little bit. So I found this article on Charleston fashion, and look, one of the things was that you wear those short sleeve button down shirts, but the first like 2 buttons are unbuttoned. So like you might usually leave one unbuttoned. I mean, I guess some people button it all the way to the top, their little short sleeve shirts. But in Charleston, it's like the top 2. So you are showing a little bit more chest because it's like that beach town. I don't think that Joe got the right memo though. He's buttoning the bottom 2. Like he's probably you're too far down. You don't like have the 6-pack that I want to see under that shirt. No. Actually, I just don't want to see it on anybody. I just don't.
The disco era, that's what I was thinking of. Like the 70s disco era, they always had those shirts. Yes, unbuttoned.
Saturday Night Fever.
Yes, that's what it reminded me of.
I see that. But I don't know. It's like, it's not a fitted shirt. Like maybe if it was more fitted and the bottom 2 were buttoned.
I don't know what his goal is, but it doesn't look good.
It don't look bad.
I don't think it looks good. But I think it's kind of yuck.
It just looks like he didn't finish good. It doesn't look put together. Anyway.
But, I come from the era of the 80s where the guys and the girls always wore like tank tops underneath the button-up shirts. And then you didn't button them all the way up. You kind of had your tank showing instead.
Well, in the 90s, we did that too.
Oh, I didn't know that was a 90s thing too.
Like later 90s. Like you'd have the plaid, American Eagle button-down shirts, and you'd have a tank top under it, but you wouldn't button it. You just wear it open.
Right. That's the way we did too.
Maddie hasn't talked to Grace Lilly since the girls' party, and she talks about how she's trying to overcome addiction and she's working on herself, which got me thinking, I wonder if this was filmed around the time that Grace Lilly had some arrest here in Charleston recently, involving, I believe, driving under the influence. We should look that up. All right, channel servers, I'm putting on my lawyer hat for a minute. We know where to find lawsuits in Charleston County on the public index. We, look this up. But I pulled up Grace Lilly, and if you're on YouTube, you can see what we're looking at. So actually, the most recent, and it's still pending, is from March 10th of this year. There was something else. Maybe it wasn't in Charleston County. Let's see what happened March 10th. Criminal drugs, possession of a controlled substance in Schedule 1 to 5, first offense. So no prior offenses cited in the charges here. Here is a bond court.
I mean, that is pretty recent. That was only a couple months ago.
Yeah, but I thought there was an older charge, but not like 2023 older. Because, that was the day after my birthday. I thought this was like before the season even started. But I'm not seeing that in Charleston County. I think the one before that was 2023. But this most recent charge, she got personal recognizance. it's a $10,500 bond. So what a personal recognizance bond is when you are arrested, of course you're innocent until proven guilty, but the question is, are you in jail until your trial or charges are resolved? Maybe that's a plea, a trial or a plea, or dismissing the case, whatever that might be. Or do you go out on bond while you're waiting these charges? The court needs to make sure that you show up for court. So what do they ask at a bond hearing? You're going to look to see whether the person is, one, a danger to the community, and two, a flight risk. So Grace Lilly, as far as being a flight risk, and I mean, this is what we would argue, she has deep ties to Charleston. It seems like she's grown up here. Her family is here. Her friends are here. She films a show here. Probably not a flight risk. Could depend on how much money they have. Do they have the means to get away? Sometimes you might have a defendant surrender their passport, but you just want to make sure that they come back. So when you place bond, when you put money down, if you don't show up to court, the court takes it. If they require you to put money down, some people have bondsmen that will post that for them. And then if you don't show up to court, you have the bondsman. But in this case, they gave her personal recognizance, which means that they found she was not a flight risk. The other question is danger to the community. This was not a possession of drugs while driving charge. So it was probably for a personal amount. It wasn't like a large amount. It was a first offense. Grace Lilly, maybe if the judges watch the show, they're just like, she's just the sweetest little thing ever. I'm just kidding. The judge couldn't do that. They couldn't base it on what's on the show. But yeah, judge found she's not a flight risk, not a danger to the community, and they released her on personal recognizance, which means she didn't have to post any money up front. Now, if she doesn't show up to court, she's going to owe the $10,575, but they didn't make her put any money down. And you just see a note here, required to be present at all of the hearings. If we look at what's happened in this case so far, bond hearing was on 3/10. So at 10 o'clock in the morning. And the initial appearance just took place on May 1st. So the initial appearance is where she shows up. They ask her if she has an attorney. They ask her if she needs a public defender. It looks like right now she's not represented. But it's like a status hearing. You might even, as an attorney, when I go into initial appearance, we're probably letting the judge know that we've filed a request for discovery. We're still waiting to get stuff back. We might even have a chance to talk to the state about any sort of settlements. But if you're not represented, they're going to ask you about representation, ask how you plea, which likely she is pleading not guilty at this point. Make the state prove their case. It looks like she has a second appearance set for August 21st. So she has a little bit of time. In the meantime, she may go and hire counsel. But that will take place, assuming things haven't been resolved by then outside of court. That will be coming up here at the end of August. So that's where they are on this case. So if this was ketamine, that would be a Schedule 3 drug. We know the charges are possession between Schedule 1 and Schedule 5. So this would be a Schedule 3 if it was ketamine. And first-time offender, misdemeanor, up to 6 months in jail, up to $1,000 in fines. But she might be able to qualify for something like pretrial intervention or even drug court, where she is getting help for this. So hopefully she gets something worked out. But I mean, this is March 10th, so she's still struggling with it. And maybe that's why she's not on the trip maybe that's why they're just writing this off as Maddie and Joe are not talking to her, so they're not getting too deep into her personal life. Obviously, it wasn't from that charge, though, because that was just recently here in March.
Right, and I think the show was taped last summer, 2025.
And if we look back at the records, before that, there's something from 2023, which actually this was a lawsuit that it said she won, traffic ticket in 2018. Now, back in August of 2017, or 2016, was resolved in 2017, there were a few criminal charges, but it looks like this was dismissed. So there's possession of drugs in Schedule 1 and Schedule 2. That was dismissed. Possession of 15 dosage units of MDMA or ecstasy, first offense, also dismissed. Not indicted. So in South Carolina, you can have indictment by a grand jury, or the state can waive indictment and push the charges forward anyway. And then also dismissed, not indicted on manufacturing, possession of a substance in 1, 2, 3. They're dismissed. Now, here's another thing. In South Carolina, we have hand of one, hand of all. There's actually a case in Florence right now where I think like 9 people are being charged with murder under the hand of one, hand of all theory. Possession could be she's riding in a car or in a house with somebody that has this, like not her house, doesn't even know it's there. My trial advocacy professor, he taught us this. He had this trial once where someone was being charged with possession of cocaine, and the cocaine was in the back seat in that little slot behind the seat. Didn't know it. Got arrested. Everyone in the car was arrested. So during the trial, my professor, like when they went to take a break before closings, he taped a big bag of white powder under the prosecution's table. And during closing, he pulled it out and was like, prosecution doesn't know they've been in possession of this since lunch. That was very effective, actually.
So I'm sure it would be.
We don't know the facts here. She's 16, though. She was born in 1998. That would have made her 18 anyway. Interesting stuff. So, yeah, they haven't talked to her since that party. She was struggling. And Maddie recognizes it's hard. She's been through addiction herself. She said it took her 10 white chips before it finally stuck, because you go sober for so long and you get a chip. And it's like she has to keep hitting reset until it works. Michols is talking about what a healing experience it was to go to the church, and Maddie is saying how he's really grown into his sexuality. He's becoming more comfortable with it from when she first met him. And then Mimi has something to say about herself.
She does it again. That awkward, throw something out there that just shuts the whole table up.
Because it's about her. We're talking about how Michols is coming out. It's such a big deal. I mean, he's even struggled with acceptance from his own mother. And what does Mimi say?
You left without me this morning. Yeah.
I was all alone. You guys left me out.
Yeah. Typical Emmy. Me.
Michols, he has had enough. He has had enough. He first starts with an explanation that completely makes sense, which we pointed out last episode. Michols just brought the people that were closest to him for this event. It was Maddie and Joe, TJ,
and Lake.
I mean, he's going to his grandmother's church. It's a very spiritual experience. Mia wasn't invited, but she's not butthurt about it because Mimi is like, oh, heard loud and clear, making a big deal of the fact that she's not his best friend. And Mia's like, chill. He said he just invited the people closest to him. And then Michols goes off. First of all, he's wearing a fishnet shirt, which I'm sure we all just thought was fishnet shirt, but it has a deeper meaning. It's like the sand, and y'all are walking all over me. I don't get it. I get that you walk all over sand, but how is the fishnet shirt like the sand?
I don't know, unless it can just like go right through the little holes or something in it. I wasn't really quite sure, but I feel like that he wanted to say that, and he used the church as a way to say, or the shirt as a the shirt as a way to say it.
Maddie says that she thinks Michael has had this stash away in his notes app for months, ready to say it. Hope not. I hope this wasn't something that he's been thinking about saying for months, because it didn't make sense. It makes sense that you walk all over the sand. Maybe if he was like, you know what? I have felt like the sand on this beach. You have just been walking all over me and I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
It sure looks good.
It
sure looks great on him.
And
it's
honestly,
given Madonna.
Yeah. It's a very Madonna looking shirt. It's a very 80s shirt. We would wear those in crop and everything else, not just as a shirt, but as a crop shirt. He doesn't appear to me to be somebody that's going to hold on to saying something that he wants to say for a couple of months. Like, I'm sure that
too. Good point.
Yeah. I don't think he keeps anything to himself for very long.
He's probably been thinking about it since they got back from the church, and he's probably getting a vibe off Emmy. I don't get the feeling that Emmy has not shown with her body language how she's been feeling.
Well, no, I mean, he's been upset with her since they tried to talk privately at the beginning of the trip, because he didn't want to have to deal with stuff like this throughout the trip. And she didn't hear anything he said. She just,
Me.
Exactly.
Then Michols, he says, and you got to stop defaming Brad. Which, all right, lawyer cap again. Defamation. Defamation is when you say something that's untrue and you publish it to a third party. And there has to be financial damages. But if you're going to take that to a court and get awarded for it, you got to prove the damages. Anyway, I'm trying to think of what statements she has said that have been defamatory, because she's framed them all as she felt scared, which she might feel that way.
Yeah. Didn't she say that he was like banging on the door or something? And of course, that's not what happened. They just heard her talking from all the way out in the hallway because she was yelling.
That would be defamatory.
What else did she say? I'm
Most
trying
of it
to think
has
of
been
it
framed and how she feels. But then again, I don't think she really feels like that either, because
no. I think the problem is she's like telling anybody and everybody in Charleston all of this stuff that's not true. So it's starting to get around.
Probably not using it in a legal sense.
No, I don't think
1,000% not. This is just me overthinking as an attorney. But yeah, Mimi, you need to stop talking shit about Brad, because you're not afraid of him. Like, take accountability, dude.
Well, not only that, everybody that's sitting there knows pretty much what happens. So they all know she's full of shit. And she just keeps pushing it and pushing it. Like, they all know it's not true. They all know she's full of shit. It's bullshit what she's saying. And she just won't let it go and won't accept that she's been saying things that aren't true.
Doesn't she realize that zero people are taking her side on that? We did see earlier in the season Maddie on the boat listening. I feel like Maddie, that did kind of seem like support. But then again, I don't think that Maddie is super confrontational. I think she avoids conflict. And when she's sitting there and Mimi is trying to talk to her, she listens. She's like, yeah, I get it. But maybe that's only that is kind of support. So
I don't
maybe
even know.
Maddie needs to go to her and be like, girl. But she's not confrontational. I don't see her doing it.
Right. But I think anybody that she has talked to about this has tried to tell her, you need to quit doing it. You need to quit telling people that, or something to that effect. And she's just
Maddie
not listening.
Maddie even said in ITMs, like, she was afraid. She kind of like trust women sort of thing.
I think we're past the point of this getting
resolved.
Yeah. Brad and Emmy had a conversation on that couch in the restaurant, remember, a few episodes ago, and it should have been done at that point. But then after that, she has continued, the hairdresser, the yoga instructor, or the fitness instructor, anybody that will listen, and she just keeps adding and piling things on top of the story that just aren't true. And they're all hearing about it. Every single person at this table. It's all getting back to them through other sources.
Like Mia says, at Charleston, word gets around. She has heard things that Mimi is saying all over town. And Mimi, take accountability. You weren't, Michael said, you don't think that Brad is a threat. So Mimi actually admits, she's like, he didn't bang on the door. And I wasn't naked crying on the bathroom floor. Didn't we hear her say she was naked? Didn't that come out of her mouth?
Yeah, that was with, I think it was the fitness instructor, maybe, when she was talking to the fitness instructor. Or maybe it was on with her sister. But that's the story that got back to Julia through the hairdresser.
And I like what Julia said to Mimi. She said, don't tell us what you said. Tell us what you were trying to say. Which I thought was very generous of her. She's like, maybe that acknowledges, maybe we're misinterpreting it. Maybe you're not communicating this right. Explain what you were trying to say.
That was a huge amount of grace. I don't think I would have been that generous. I wouldn't have even thought to say, okay, maybe we're misunderstanding what she's trying to say.
Which is when she says, look, he wasn't banging on the door. I wasn't naked in the room, but I
had a panic attack after the text.
Exactly. And TJ says what we're all thinking. Is it because you didn't realize we were out there and overheard you talking shit about us? She doesn't deny that. At least according to the edit, she just says, I didn't know you guys were out there. Question, were you panicking because you didn't know we were out there and we heard you talking shit? Answer, I didn't know you guys were out there. That's not a denial. That's just repeating what he said, which is you didn't know we were out there.
Well, that's why she got panicked when she got the text, is because that's when she realized.
Got caught. Me and my loud mouth got caught.
Yeah. So she wasn't panicking because he was being mean or doing anything that she felt unsafe about. She was panicking because she realized that they caught her talking shit.
She was panicking because she said Brad was dead to her, and then he repeated that back to her in a text. And she's like, he heard everything I said. And instead of taking accountability from the jump, she's going to place blame on Brad with some bullshit microaggressions.
And go around town, woe is me.
And not drop it and keep it up. Brad tells Emmy that what she's been saying has hurt him so deeply. It's like she stuck a knife in, twisted it around, and just kept going deeper. And he's actually cried about the things he's heard her spreading around Charleston. And Emmy, she says, I'm sorry. Now, Brad, he's not a fool. This man is smart. He's smarter than you, Emmy. And he wants to know what you're sorry for. So the first response we get from Emmy is, everything. She's trying to figure out what she's supposed to apologize for instead of being genuinely sorry.
Right. Well, if you remember the first couple of episodes, I think she was talking to her sister on the phone or somebody, and she basically told them that she said she was sorry just so that they wouldn't, ruin her or something like that, which meant she wasn't sorry at all.
Of this conversation, she's like, what are we supposed to be apologizing for to Julia? And then she goes into, I'm sorry you felt that way.
I hate about when the people way that I apology.
Described my emotions.
I hate those kind of apologies. I hate an apology that basically blames the person that you're supposed to be apologizing for. I'm sorry I made you feel that way. Well, that is not a fucking apology.
And she said, I didn't mean for what I did to hurt you. But how else are what you doing? How is that not supposed to hurt? I'm scared of him. He, came at me. I was genuinely terrified. I had a panic attack. How is that not going to hurt Brad? This isn't like me not giving somebody the legal advice that they hoped for, because unfortunately it's just not something that the law can help them with. And them getting upset and me being like, I'm hate to be the bearer of bad news. I don't want you to be sad. I really feel sorry for you that it's not the news you wanted. This is just how it is. I'm not trying to hurt you. I'm just doing what I do, which is give you legal advice.
Right.
I'm sorry you feel that way, that I was talking shit about you. That wasn't even true, and making you out to be a scary person and using racial microaggressions. And
but I'm not sorry for the shit I said.
I described my feelings that way. It's not just your feelings either that you're describing. You're not saying I was unreasonably scared because he sent me a text. It's I was genuinely afraid because he did all the stuff he didn't ever do.
Yeah. It's not an apology. What she's saying is not an apology. It's word salad trying to keep from apologizing for. I honestly believe.
You know what? They've got this beautiful meal there. They don't need your word enchilada.
Right. Exactly. I believe her dumbass really don't know what she needs to apologize for at this point.
She doesn't.
She is that absorbed.
She has like convinced herself that she's the person
innocent.
That was victimized here.
She's a victim, she's not an abuser.
Basically. And it's so unfair because she's the one talking shit and somebody calls her out on the shit and then she's the victim. Mm-hmm. Immediately, I'm thinking, Brad, he's not a person to start shit. He's not going to have the reaction even that Dee and I are having to this. And just like I thought, Brad says, I just want to coexist. It's like, this is the shittiest apology. And he's even willing to take it just so that everybody can get along. You know, that's the person that big teddy bear Brad is.
Yeah, Brad just wants her to shut up, honestly, at this point. I don't think it really matters if she apologizes or not. Just shut your fucking mouth about me and quit talking shit.
Now, she says in ITMs that she got super defensive and let it get way further than she thought, which Dee and I took that different ways.
Yeah, I took it that she was just trying to make herself a victim. And that was the reason why she acted the way that she did. You know, putting armor on, she had to protect herself and just make herself the victim when in reality she's the instigator and the problem.
And your interpretation may be the correct one, given that this is Mimi. I took it as they said what she said was a racial microaggression. And she got super defensive, like, I'm not a racist. And then tried to find reasons why it had nothing to do with race, in her opinion, to justify her using this racial microaggression, because that's what it was. But she's like, I'm going to be defensive. I don't want to be a racist. And she's like trying to justify it to herself with stuff that isn't even Brad. It's not even freaking Brad.
That she made up.
Right. And it
could be a little bit of both. It could be a little bit of both. I think that she's doing both of those things.
And at the end of the day, by not sitting there and saying, holy shit, yeah, I see how that is. Accusing a Black man of something that makes him scary and violent that he didn't actually do, as happened so many times in the history of the United States. And that is a racial microaggression. Maybe that was not my intent, but I need to recognize that what I said.
I think she was trying to validate that statement by creating stories where she was genuinely afraid of him instead of just apologizing for saying it in the first place. Yeah.
Right. And like, why do we jump to fear? Why is that the story that you're making up?
But nobody's buying it. And it's just frustrating her even more. And she just keeps digging a bigger hole. Or as Bradley said, you just keep twisting the knife and twisting the knife and twisting the knife instead of taking it out. And that's the reason why I said I think he just wants her to shut the fuck up. Quit talking about it.
Michols is Team D here. He's like, you always make it about yourself. Mimi?
Yep. He calls it.
So Michols, he lays out there. He said, it's always about you. You make everything about you. And cue somebody with Botox trying to cry, which apparently she was crying because her mascara was running. It looked like she was laughing, though, because her face was not moving. Like, she can't even frown. Mimi.
I am laughing at her the whole time that I'm watching her because she should be an actress. Like, she can just pour on the waterworks.
No, it did not look like she was crying. What do you mean she should be an actress?
Yeah, you're right.
It didn't even look like it. And
it's comical. It's comical. It's the hyperventilation
Julia
crap.
Laughing her ass off. Mia and
Julia,
they
have to leave the table.
How it looked when she was crying. And I got to credit Botox. Her Botox.
Yeah, but she's like, we all know I'm an emotional person. And then she just busts into it. And I'm just like, what the fuck? And I'm sitting there laughing because Mia, she has to get up and walk away so that Emmy doesn't see her laughing. Julia gets up and walks away so that Emmy doesn't see her laughing. In the meantime, we've got her having these hysterics, and Maddie's afraid of the cat.
I'm also laughing because of the contradiction here, which is Michael saying, let's not make everything about you. And immediately she starts having this panic attack and making it about her.
Right.
Okay, so the cat situation.
Yeah, apparently Maddie is phobic of cats. So
well, she says especially like the stray ones, which
yeah,
I don't know if this is just Charleston, but we have like lots of stray cats that roam around. Actually, my neighbor in my old neighborhood, he had one that like pooped on his car, and then he had one that he just found it like died in his front yard. And these were just like stray cats. So he took it and he like threw it over the fence onto Boeing's property because we lived right by Boeing. Anyway, so yeah, Charleston has a lot of stray cats.
I do around here too. But what's funny is Maddie is like climbing on the chairs. She's freaking out about the stray cat while Emmy is having the hysterics. So they're like one scene is Emmy and her hysterics. The next scene is, Maddie freaking out over the cat. And all of this is going on at the same time.
And most people are so over Mimi that we are now shifting our collective focus to the cat. They're like, Maddie and the cat. Attention to you. Look, there's the cat.
And I think that's frustrating Emmy a little bit because she's not getting the attention she thinks this, award-winning scene should deserve.
So let's make it better. Let's storm off. So she storms off. Joe Bradley follows her out there and is like, I understand if you can't make it to Maddie's thing tonight. And at the table, everyone's telling Michael, get it out there, talk it out. Like, if I was having issues with any one of you, I would try to mend that issue, especially we're on a trip, we want to have fun. And
Molly,
you can address Molly. I was going to talk about Mia, but go ahead.
Well, Mia was the one that was saying that. She was giving the advice, but Molly and Lake have both been on the receiving end of Michael's being upset, so they kind of get why Emmy is upset right now because of the way they felt.
Mia says what you said was kind of vague, which you make everything about yourself. Maybe explain to her.
Maybe she needs to have it spelled out. Maybe she should do the PowerPoint for her.
So if she's been in defensive mode, she feels like she has to defend herself instead of just taking accountability for it. And what she's hearing from Michaels is you're saying I'm a bad friend. What I'm hearing from Molly is you say there's a difference between listening and hearing, which Michaels didn't say she was a bad friend, but you are a bad friend for what you've done to Brad. Let's be real here. So take accountability for that. But then Michaels says, she's like, well, Michaels, you said that you wore that shirt today to say that I walked all over you. And he goes, I didn't say that. That's what you heard. He didn't specifically say Mimi, but who else was he talking to? Let's be real. We'll know who he has the issue with right now. People are telling Michael, like, don't worry about it. She's not going to do anything because you're louder than she is. He's like, am I loud? I feel you, Michaels. So we get to the DJ gig. Maddie is in the front and center of this pool, DJing. Nobody's in the pool
yet. I've seen the show, remember? I've already seen this episode.
So, but still, that's just like, strange that she's starting out and nobody's in the pool. Joe Bradley throwing his back out. When he was chasing the cats, he was complaining about his back. He's sitting here trying to dance, complaining about his back. He's in ITMs, he's complaining about his back. This 30-year-old man done throwing his back out trying to lay pipe with Maddie. Can't do that kind of stuff when you get old now. Emmy does end up coming. She's not happy about it.
No, she doesn't want to be there. And then she pulls some grade school bullshit.
Well, she and Molly go to sit down. Molly says, I know what it's like to be on the other side of Michaels. And Mimi tells Molly, well, I think you were, with that issue with you and Michaels, I think you were on the wrong side of that. They asked him in his capacity as a manager if he thought you should be fired. And he wasn't doing that like personally. He was doing that because basically he deserved to be fired. And then we cut back scene to where Michaels is saying, I didn't know. I found out the morning of. And then Molly saying, he lied to me. And then Mimi saying, well, if we're all going to be telling the truth, I feel like the truth should come out because I know I felt ways and people sit there and try to gaslight me. So she still doesn't think she did anything wrong. She thinks she's being gaslit about Brad, which is bullshit. She's the one gaslighting. And then she's saying this stuff. Also, I found out the morning of, it's not mutually exclusive. It doesn't mean that he
contributed
before
to
the
it.
morning of. That conversation could have happened in the morning and you got fired in the afternoon. This could have been something Leva had been thinking about, and then she had a morning meeting with the managers, and that like basically I'm letting her go, and
that's
he agreed.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean that he lied.
I just thought that it was a tactic that Emmy did to divert away from her. Yeah.
It is. She's not making it about her anymore. Let's make it about Molly and Michols.
Let's have them argue.
This is why Michols don't feel close with you. Why you're not on his best friend list that went to the church.
Right.
She sees what you're doing. So Maddie's done with her gig. She was vibing it. She said once she got in the zone, she was just going. Everyone said she killed it. So is she making her dreams come true? We will see. And like you said, Dee, they all jump in the pool, but I don't think this is the same pool that Maddie was DJing in. It looks a lot smaller. Around the sides, it looks like there's like bushes very close to this pool.
Yeah. It's
and
a
they're all in
possibility.
swimsuits.
Yeah, and it could have been also like after the show and they'd already removed the platform from the middle of the pool or something too. I don't know.
This was a small pool. This was very narrow. And that like,
I don't, some of those
it
resorts,
doesn't even look like the same, like around the pool. There's not like a huge deck around the pool.
Right.
Because they had bars, they had a lot of concrete. This had like vegetation up near it.
Yeah. I'm wondering, some of those resorts have multiple pools, so it's probably
most of them do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably just another one on the same location.
So we go back to Charleston. Justin, he's mama's boy. He FaceTimes his mama, and he said he's very honest with his mom. I've been drinking for 3 days. He said his mom was like the patriarch of the family, which is weird. Like, why don't we just redefine matriarch?
Yeah. I'm wondering if maybe she was a single mom raising him or something.
So
and that's
she's
the reason why
matriarch. There are matriarchal societies where women are in charge.
Yeah. Oh, well, maybe. I don't know why he said it
He
that way.
doesn't know what he's saying either. But anyway, I digress. What did you think about the dental floss?
I think he had one of the coolest moms ever and still does, because even when she was talking about him, when he was talking about drinking for 3 days, she's like, good for you.
Well, he did get in trouble. So I guess when he was growing up, his mom found some underwear in her car and she walked in his room with dental floss and was like, whose underwear are these? Like with literal dental floss, and then grounded him. But yeah, mom's got a sense of humor. Mom's got the jokes. Apparently, Charlie is also a Swiftie, which Justin thinks is a red flag. His mom thinks is a green flag. I mean, I don't care one way or the other. I'm not a Taylor Swift fan, but I don't hate her. So, like, you like what you like.
Yeah, I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I don't know. I mean, it's
just a different genre of music
that
I listen to.
I think he was just pointing out that that's a big thing for his mom. Like,
well, he's definitely
mom
would
approve.
her to mom.
Yeah, like this is the selling point for mom. This is how mom's gonna like her the best. Okay.
Speaking of sales, Joe Bradley, we go back to Republic and he is out there selling those tables. He's also showing TJ how to tie a tie. I know how to tie a tie. I'm surprised TJ doesn't. It could be that in Charleston, maybe he's used to wearing bow ties. Maybe he just gets the clip-on ones.
I was going to say, I can see TJ in a bow tie more than a regular tie. And I, by the way, do not know how to do a tie.
Oh, I know how to do a tie.
No, I don't.
So Maddie, she asked Mimi, have you talked to Michols yet? And Mimi says she would do herself a disservice not saying anything to him about the way he talked to her. Okay. So we're still on the victim train.
Yeah. We've already made it all about me again.
Now, Leva walks in looking like a goddess. They're like,
what
Queen Leva, this woman is a goddess.
I was like, that outfit, she is totally rocking that outfit. And then I was thinking, I would look like total shit in that.
I was thinking the same thing.
But yeah, she looks like Cleopatra just walked off the street into the bar.
Goddess. Not even human. Goddess level over here.
Yes.
And Michols is so professional. She walks up, she asks how the trip was. He's like, I'm going to leave my personal life where it should be, not at work. So I'm going to tell her it was great, not get into a bunch of detail. Super professional. Now, Leva also acknowledges that Joe Bradley has been hustling. He is selling some tables. And of course, Joe Bradley uses this as another opportunity to bring up that he really wants to move forward. He's 30 now. He wants to go somewhere further with his life. And one of us acknowledges it with, well, you'll be great at whatever you do. So she's not saying, okay, yeah, like I'm going to give you a job. I'm ready to be your business partner. You're a wonderful person.
I think she has already made up her mind, honestly, where he's concerned. And the thing is, did you notice the way that he worded that? So he was like, I already have several investors, but, I really want to work with somebody that I love. Like, I want to give you this opportunity to do it.
She doesn't want the opportunity, Joe.
Yeah.
And you keep bringing it up to her, and she keeps telling you need to prove yourself. And it's not something that's going to be done in one night because you sold a lot of tables. This needs to be consistency. She said earlier in ITM's 8 months, as a business owner, especially in a restaurant, those are such high risk. I would probably want more time. I would want this person to prove that if we go into this business together, they're going to be dedicated to the business.
Look, his biggest red flag is he cannot show consistent reliability.
Right.
And that's all she's looking for. And he can't give it to her.
And what happens if they go into business and he doesn't do that? She's left holding all the responsibility and she's the one who put the money into it. So she loses if he isn't consistent, loses money and loses time.
Yep. But he keeps treating it like it's some kind of big opportunity for her, and it's the other way around, Joe. You're the one that needs to be doing the work.
So Lake goes on a date with Nessa. She is glowing. She looks so happy.
I cannot get over how much the two of them look alike.
They look alike.
I do. I think that, and they said that at the emo party too. Everybody was talking about what did Lake do? Go out and find somebody that looked just like her so she could date herself?
I said I didn't think they looked alike.
I do.
Completely different. Like she has curly hair. Their faces are different. Like their skin is a similar shade, but that's all I'm seeing. Nessa's a lot taller.
I think they look very similar.
I don't think so. Channel Surfers, what do you think? I think Lake looked extremely happy, smiling from ear to ear.
Yes.
Apparently she was a bitch to Nessa the first time that they met, but Nessa got over it.
Really, she probably was turned on by it because it was kind of like, when you have a crush on somebody and they don't really give you the time of day, that's kind of the way that Lake was with her.
Well, apparently she also was at work okay after the Mia thing at the nightclub.
Well, she probably thought that was badass too.
Apparently, Nessa met Lake while she was working, presumably at Republic, because Lake was like, I can't, like, I'm at work right now.
I'm working, and just kept on going.
Now, they haven't kissed yet, but they're saying everything is in the kiss. I wonder if we're going to get to experience, quote unquote, a first kiss between them this season.
I thought that she spent the night with her at the emo party.
Then what were they talking about that they hadn't kissed?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure that she spent the night with her, though.
Well, maybe they just snuggled.
Because remember, she was saying something about, there was the whole thing with that one guy and rumors of like a threesome with Lake and her date that night, which was Nessa. And that's when Lake was like, I haven't done anything with him in 2025.
Rumors. Well,
yeah.
This was in 2025. So this would have been filmed in the summer, fall of 2025. Nessa's last girlfriend, they broke up a year ago, and that was her first woman that she ever dated. Her and Justin, they were definitely doing things we all do behind their parents' back. But we get Lake's story that she would date girls and she wasn't out to her parents, so she'd have them staying the night. She also said that she was afraid to come out on the show, and she was afraid of the backlash, and that her dad has had his views for 50 years and that's not going to change. That hurt my heart so much. Like, does he watch it? Does he see how happy his daughter is? Isn't that what we want for our kids, is for them to be happy? She's not doing anything to hurt anybody. Look how happy she is.
Right.
I'm thrilled for her. I just wish her dad could feel that way too. Grace Lilly. She's reading the tarot cards. And I love this question. The guy that she sits down with, he said, South Carolina football, what kind of year are they going to have? Now, remember, this was probably filmed before last football season. She got the magician, so she says they probably would mostly win. Y'all, I'm a Gamecock fan. I've been a Gamecock fan for a long time. I went to that school for 7 years, 4 years for undergrad, 3 years for law school. We're not really what you call the winning type of program. Like, sometimes we do really good, but there's even what we call a Gamecock curse.
Y'all used to be really good.
We never, well, first of all, we've got a tough schedule, but we've never won a SEC championship. We got runner-up in 2010 with Steven Garcia, who...
Maybe that's what I was thinking.
Just like last week, the news came out that he has been diagnosed with stage 4 colorectal cancer. And Steve Spurrier, who coached him, he apparently donated $2,000 to his GoFundMe and put out a word of support. And now he's making all these Facebook posts, just documenting his journey with chemo, saying how strong he is, how he's going to fight. He's only 38.
Wow.
And how people should get screened and how much everybody reaching out to him has just meant so much. I love Steven Garcia. He is the one that took us to the SEC championship. It was against Auburn. And basically, we got single-handedly beat by Cam Newton, who then went to go play for the Carolina Panthers. So I was not a Cam fan. And then he went to the Panthers, and freaking love Cam Newton. And he's so cute. He's 6'6". He's so cute. And he's got a sense of style. But was not a fan in college because he's the one that single-handedly beat us. I remember when they put Connor Shaw in, I was like, no, we don't want Connor. We want Steven. But Connor was amazing too. Probably our best quarterback we ever had. Anyway, I digress. I know Gamecock football. I was like, ooh, that was wrong. Let's talk about last season. 12 games. Guess how many we won?
How many?
4. It was ugly, y'all. It was ugly. Let's see. We beat Virginia Tech. We beat SC State, which is a small school. Vanderbilt beat us. Missouri beat us, which these are conference games. We beat Kentucky. LSU beat us. Oklahoma beat us, but Oklahoma was ranked number 8. Number 9, Alabama beat us by 1 touchdown, but still. Number 6, Ole Miss beat us. Number 7, Texas A&M beat us. We beat Coastal Carolina, again, small school. And then Clemson beat us, and Clemson wasn't ranked when they beat us, but they still beat us, and that's our rivalry. But you can see, we've got a hard schedule. We played a bunch of ranked teams.
I keep forgetting you guys. I keep forgetting you guys are nowhere near the Buckeyes.
Well, the Buckeyes don't play anybody. They play
You shut your mouth. You shut your mouth. Talk about my Buckeyes.
Ohio State.
I don't think anybody on here listening to us came to listen to football.
Maybe they did.
I don't think so. I think we need to go on with the show and forget about comparing our states.
You're the one that started it. I'm going to be the one that finishes it.
I made one statement. Yeah, I know.
Okay.
You're an attorney.
So they played number 13 Texas, and they played number 18 Michigan. I played 4 top 10 schools. You played 2 top 20 schools. I mean, I'm sure Grambling Straight. I'm sure that was a tough game for you guys.
Let's just go on with the show.
Let's go on with the show. But Grace Lilly's tarot card.
It looks like Leva's given her a job doing tarot cards in the restaurant.
I can verify that was not accurate. Yeah, Leva feels like it's hard for Grace Lilly to work in the nightlife with her struggling for addiction for her personally. Leva is saying it's just going to be too hard for her. So she's given her this tarot spot to give her something to do during the day where she's sober, even though she's at the smoothie bar. It's not the same nightlife. And then we also see a friend of Maddie's who's playing a guitar. It just reminds me of Phoebe and Friends. Not her singing, but just somebody sitting there with the guitar.
The vibe. Yeah.
the vibe. Now, Grace Lilly, she wants to try to mend bridges with Joe and Maddie. It's been about a month. So she goes up to Joe. Joe says, I love and care about you, but we're still hurt. And Maddie's like, yeah, we're still hurt. And she said, Maddie, let's go talk. Remember, what they're hurt about is that she asked Maddie if she straps one on and does Joe in the butt. They're really hurt about this if they're saying this isn't true.
I was going to say, that. What's the expression about protesting too much? I think
that the protest too much.
Yeah.
So they go outside and Grace Lilly apologizes and she says, you should know what it's like struggling with addiction. And then she says she's been sober. She's been working with therapists. We see Maddie and ITM saying she said this a bunch of times. She doesn't do anything. She says she's on a journey. She's not going anywhere. And then she starts calling her out. Grace Lilly is saying, yeah, I wasn't using at the party, but I mean, even if she's like in withdrawals or something, that definitely can affect her mood. And I would think so. I don't have experience with this personally.
It sounded to me like Grace, her interpretation is alcohol is not the same as her addiction. Right. That it's okay for her to drink the alcohol, which I've heard that's a gateway drug and not to do it if you're addicted to anything else. But I don't know. Maybe that's
there's different ways of dealing with addiction too. Some people, they don't drink at all in recovery. Some people do. Some people use AA. Some people don't. But also, Maddie has been on this journey and she even acknowledged that it took 10 white chips before she finally stuck with it.
Right.
So she knows that being in recovery, it's an ongoing forever
and I think
for some people.
Yeah, I think that they're looking at it two different ways. I think Maddie thinks even the drinking is probably something that Grace shouldn't be doing, where Grace is like, I'm not doing the drugs, I'm drinking wine or I'm getting drunk or something like that. That's okay. It's not the same thing. It's not the same as an alcoholic staying away from alcohol for her.
So is she pushing her away so she's not enabling her drinking?
I don't know. It just seems to me like they're looking at it two different ways.
Grace Lilly was using a couple of days before that party, which, again, this was over a month ago. She says she's getting help in being sober. I hope that's the case.
Well, she was arguing with her.
Well, maybe she knows something that we're not hearing from Grace Lilly. And I did go back and look. In December, that's when these first charges came. With Grace Lilly, and then they changed it in March. So maybe they like wiped the record from the December. So this is just a few months after filming. So maybe Maddie knew more that we're not seeing on camera, because it does seem harsh how
she seems really rough with her. Yeah.
And that's it. We're gonna say something.
I forgot. As usual.
She was being harsh. Maddie was being harsh on Grace.
Yeah, I think maybe she's giving her some tough love.
But you have to. Yeah. That's one way with addiction, is that you can't enable. You don't want to be supportive. And I mean, even just a couple of months ago, it looks like Grace Lilly is still struggling. And I mean, we're not just like struggling in private. We're getting in trouble with the law, which shows a little bit of recklessness here. I can't not do it. So I'm even doing it. I mean, anytime it's inappropriate to use illegal substances, but I'm doing it to the point where I'm even getting busted. So I think we're almost at the end of Southern Hospitality.
I do too. I don't think there's too many episodes left.
It's been a great season though. All right, Channel Surfers, thank you for listening. I'm going to get this podcast edited, get it tossed up. Also going to edit my Bankruptcy Files podcast. I started another podcast and those episodes drop on Sundays. This one, I talked to another attorney about AI. So should be an interesting episode. And then I might go out and enjoy some of the beautiful weather here in Charleston.
I have a birthday party for the weekend, so.
All right, Channel Surfers. Well, thanks for listening. Thanks for hanging with us. And we will see you Monday with 90 Day Fiancé, Season 12. Bye.
Let's ride.